mutual aid societies, Union troops, and black ministers and white northern missionaries. Most brought flowers to lay on the burial field. Today, the site is known as Hampton Park, so it's still remembered. That was the first Memorial Day. African Americans invented Memorial Day in Charleston, South Carolina. What you have is black Americans recently freed from slavery, announcing to the world with their flowers and their feet and their songs what the war had been about. And as David said, the true meaning of Memorial Day is to remember. It is to remember that the cost of war is almost too high, almost always too high. We do not honor the casualties with flowers and speeches, but by truly and deeply remembering. Now some, today, have been trying, actually literally so, they literally say they want to start a war. Sometimes they call it a race war, sometimes they call it a civil war, but they want to start a war. And they want to start the war in our grocery stores and our elementary schools, wherever. We can remember the people, the teachers, the students, the shoppers, the outlet shoppers, the theater goers, people doing their best to live their lives worth living. The people murdered while trying to live their own lives worth living. We can remember, and we can say the names of those who were living their lives worth living, those we've loved and lost. When you're ready, I invite you to call a name into the sanctuary of someone you have lost, someone you honor, someone you remember. Kathy Stewart. We remember. So live a life worth living. How do we do that? Really only you can tell if you're living a life worth living. But I do encourage you to listen to others when they tell you that you are important to them, that you've done something well, that they love you. Let those words sink in. I told Amy a story that I'm remembering now. When I worked as a psychotherapist, I had, to me then, an older male client. He probably was about my age now, maybe a little older, but he was very depressed. Diabetic and drinking, but he was depressed because he had been a successful businessman. He'd owned his own businesses. He'd made buku money, and somehow he just lost it all. And now he was not working, and he was living on his wife's income. And he had nothing to live for because all of his worth was tied up in his image of being a successful businessman with lots of money. His whole life was in that. And actually, after he stopped seeing me a few months later, I learned that he had killed himself. And I wasn't surprised because all of his life wasn't with his family, it was in that business. We don't want to live those lives of despair or lives based on just that or only other people's impressions of us. So while what makes our life worth living is quite individual, it's also much of it universal. We need love, we need compassion, we need forgiveness for ourselves and for others, we need honest and respectful relationships. Most of us do need meaningful work, not necessarily paid work, but something that is meaningful for you and fits for you. We need to have a sense of joy and fun, the ability to laugh, as Amy says, paying attention to beauty and awe and amazement, recognizing that we are part of the interdependent web of the universe, just part. All of these things can lead us to gratitude for living and then the feeling that we are living our own life worth living. A few years ago, I heard Rabbi Michael Lerner. You may know that name. He's been an activist for a while. I heard him speak, and he called on us in that room to be unrealistic. He said, "Don't let them tell you to be realistic in a world that is full of war and poverty. Be part of the voice that insists that a world of love and generosity and of nonviolence and caring for the earth is the only rational path for the human race." So he didn't say this in these words, but I think he was calling on us to live our own life worth living. We don't, each one of us, need to be the person that saves the world because, well, we can't. But we need to be doing things that are meaningful and valued to us. And I think a couple of things about that. It helps to be part of a beloved community and building a beloved community. To be with others strengthens us. And I say also, we need to be realistic about ourselves, to not expect purity or perfection of ourselves. Sometimes many people can be self-righteous, and I encourage you, if you find that in yourself, to give it up. We don't need to be always right or always perfect. And it doesn't mean you need to be a martyr or a saint or a hero. What you can do is live your life. Share your gifts, your harp, your voice. Live your values. Share your love and laugh and have fun, as Amy told us. And when we combine in community, our love can expand, and what we can do in the world increases. Spiritual practice and religious community increase our ability to love. For me, as Amy also said, love makes a life worth living. Bell Hooks wrote that in choosing to love, we choose to live in community, and that means we don't have to change by ourselves if we need to change. It's also, that's been a prime foundational value in universalism. 18th century American Universalist George de Benneville, who lived in Philly and in Reading, wrote that the spirit of love will be intensified to godly proportion, 18th century, remember, when reciprocal love exists between the entire human race and each of its individual members. We can't create that love with the whole human race, though we can dream of it. But we can do it here. We can live it here. We can live it in our own lives. Contemporary UU minister and writer and singer Meg Barnhouse wrote, We must insist. Love, not fear, is spoken here. Love, not fear, is spoken here. Real love changes people, transforms us into greater wholeness, gives us more compassion, and makes our lives worth living. And real love is dangerous to those who want to use religion to control people, to bind them to national or ethnic purposes. Jesus actually taught love for all, love for life and love for living, not love for the chosen whatever number, whatever denominations is. But love sees the good and the beautiful in the loved and expects it to flourish. Love can be conversion, turning towards someone, love changing us. When we turn to love, we turn to hope, and we are changed. I want to invite you as I close to try a simple daily practice. Maybe you do this already, but try to notice what happens. Each day, do something for at least one person to make that person's day better. And while doing it with people you live with is always a good thing, you might also try doing it with other people. And it doesn't have to be big. Treating the cashier at the store as a real person, showing them that you respect them, is a big thing, actually. My dears, you are held in love, and you have the power to give that love. May you really know that you are loved, and may you love. Live your life worth living. Just as long as we have breath, let us say yes to life, yes to love. Amen. Ashe. Blessed be. I invite you to consider the joys and sorrows that you brought into the sanctuary with you this morning. To take a stone from the basket that Amy has at the back and hold that stone, or stones, as it may be, and project your joy, your sorrow, your hopes, your dreams, your prayers into the stone. We are made of energy, and so I think we can project that energy somehow into that stone. And then bring it forward and place it in this bowl of water that represents this community and all of us holding one another. Also this morning, we have our wall of remembrance, and if you didn't get a chance to add a name and you would like, please do so now. A final stone for all that's on our hearts and in our minds. Margie Schubauer Hartman says, again, with both joy and sorrow, I share that my father, Richard Schubauer, has died. his suffering is over, and his hoped-for reunion with his mom and siblings can begin. May it be so. And Barbara Byrne shares that she mourns the loss of her brother Bill Pugh at 86, but also with joy that he was part of her life for so long. So we remember Richard and Bill as well this morning. I invite you to join in spirit of prayer and meditation with a prayer for Memorial Day by Reverend Wayne Arneson. He says, "Spirit of life and love, we enter into this season of Memorial Day surrounded by such a cloud of witnesses. We remember, first of all, the men and women who are currently serving in the armed forces and pray for their safe return. We acknowledge that there are men and women who will not return. We pause to honor their service and their sacrifice. This day remembers and acknowledges loss, and so do we remember those whom we have loved and lost. We hold their names and faces in our mind's eye. We recall the gifts they gave to us through the strength of their being, the depth of their love, the courage of their living, the courage of their dying. In the holy quiet of this hour, their names surround us, and they live with us in blessed memory. May we remain together a moment in silence as a tribute to all they have meant to us.
The Unitarian Church of Harrisburg is, as always, a freely gathered church of free people. The church is created, sustained, and supported by you. Each month, we share half of our Sunday plate with a local nonprofit organization. For the month of May, we are sharing our plate with the Oliver LeGrone Scholarship Program. The Oliver LeGrone Scholarship Program offers the largest local scholarship available to graduates of Harrisburg Public High Schools. Scholars receive $12,500 and are assigned a mentor to provide advice and guidance during their post-secondary education. The scholarship is named for Oliver LeGrone, a nationally noted poet, sculptor, philosopher, humanitarian, and ardent supporter of UCH. If you wish to contribute online, visit uchbg.org homepage for options. Your financial support and commitment matter. Please consider giving what you are able.
Our closing song this morning is We Are the Ones We've Been Waiting For. If you can please join me up here, you two. Okay, so we'll learn this. This one is in 3 parts, and then we'll sing it together.
We are the ones, we are the ones, we've been waiting. We are the ones, we are the ones, we've been waiting.
Again?
We are the ones, we are the ones, we've been waiting. We are the ones, we are the ones, we've been waiting.
Listen.
That's okay. We've been waiting for. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the ones we've been waiting for.
And the third
We are
part.
the ones, we are the ones we've been waiting. We are the ones, we are the ones we've been waiting. We are the ones, we are the ones we've been waiting.
Okay, and you're going to pick a part now and sing whatever you would like to sing as we go through. 2, ready, and.
We are the ones, we are the ones we've been waiting. We are the ones, we are the ones we've been waiting. We are the ones, we are the ones we've been waiting. We are the ones, we are the ones we've been waiting. We are the ones, we are the ones we've been waiting. We are the ones, we are the ones we've been waiting. We are the ones, we are the ones we've been waiting.
3 more times.
We are the ones, we are the ones we've been waiting.
2 more.
We are the ones, we are the ones we've been waiting.
Last time.
We are the ones, we are the ones we've been waiting.
We are. We are the ones we've been waiting for, living our lives worth living. Some words from Alice Walker as we leave this room this morning. She said, "Love, if it is love, never goes away. It is embedded in us like seams of gold in the earth, waiting for light, waiting to be struck. Love, if it is love, never goes away." So carry your love out into the world and bring it right back here next time.